Aurora is very close range. This seems like it's very dependent on the Fanny to really pop off.
Yeah. I don't know if I like the Lunox too much here, because I just feel like their Brilliance is going to be used too quickly with the potential that CG has, whether that's the Yuzhong putting pressure there, a Lancelot's mobility, even hell, the feathered airstrike, you know? Like, there's just so much that I feel like will make it really difficult for the Lunox to work in the hands of Aurora here. Last pick, though, once again for CG, still needing that roam option. There's a whole lot they can... I don't think they'd go like a Kufra here. It looks like they're going to go Cho. So they go a Cho pick. This is also just... I expect there to be pretty good pressure on the side in the jungle if they're able to make it happen.
Yeah. I like what we're getting here from after what happened yesterday from CG. Is very, you know what?
Standard.
I vibe with this.
Yeah.
I vibe with this.
I like it too, you know? They were thinking, okay, S or G are just so much better than us fundamentally. But Aurora Gaming, on the other hand, maybe not. So we'll try this approach, the normal approach. Though I will say, I was expecting something of like more lockdown, something that can lock down without having to not having to get purified, like a Kaja. I was thinking of a Kaja as well here.
Oh, you're thinking Suppress might have shown up.
Because the Cho now, it's so easy to dodge, and the only guy you can really go for is Tianzi.
Yeah. And then this really means that you have to time things with your Yuzhong very well. One of them's going to have to use their abilities to just bait out Purify. So let's see if the execution for CG will actually do really well, or will Aurora Turkey pissed off pretty sure after what happened to them yesterday, and the organization in day one of Swiss looking for a revenge. We'll see how these two start it off.
Yeah, in a way, both teams really wanting to kind of redeem themselves after yesterday, man. And what better way to do it than in this matchup? We'll see if it's going to be a quick one, too, because we have seen where, you know, for example, if TNZ is able to go ahead and scale up really quickly on this Fanny, then, you know, it's kind of tough to deal with if you're CG Esports here. So I don't expect too much to happen in the early game, honestly, even for that Little Wanderer, where sometimes we see more of that skirmishing happening because, again, it's a little bit too risky with TNZ on that Fanny just yet, but he's going to go ahead and secure his orange, and it's just normal rotations for now.
Yeah, another thing that we can point out is the fact that it's going to be quite difficult for Aurora Gaming to control neutral objectives, right? They have a Uranus and a Grok. I'm not too sure if the Grok's going to be able to get level 4 by the time Turtle 1 spawns, but even then, who's going to try to bait out the Furious Dive Petrify so that Tianzi can get an opening around those turtle fights?
It seems like something about the Aurora Gaming lineup also screams that, you know what, let's let CG come to us, and then let's see how we're going to answer after that. I mean, that's one of the best qualities of Aurora Gaming this year, not just here in M7 with the one game that we saw in MSC, is that they really can gauge fights incredibly well. And if you overheat, use all of your toolkit, then they're going to punish you really hard for that.
Yeah, even with this, looking at the emblems, you know, pretty standard. Whole lot of Impure Rages, of course, here for Aurora Gaming, but, you know, we have seen, like, again, the Grok being a solid choice. We see teams now kind of opting for that when they're on the blue side in the draft, priority-wise. Again, it provides a lot of utility. The knock-up is great from a Detect Charge, but then,
Rosa? Way too aggressive, gets caught by the puncture, and Pagu wasn't anywhere close to help.
This is what I was saying, man. I was exactly about that. The Lunox dealing with this kind of mobility that comes with a lineup that CG has is tough.
Great for the airstrike by Chiku. That's, man, almost just a sacrifice, but it works out in the end. That's going to be A3 with a Fierce Dive. Now, I'm seeing SOD all the way from downtown, able to land it on Tianzi, and that means no turtle, no purple buff as well.
Night and day performance so far for CG Esports. Aurora need to recover. Pagu and Rosa were there when Amzik went in, but they weren't level 4 yet, which is why that Moskov got away without a problem, Naisu.
That feels bad, man. You know, like, when that happens, like, you know, you dealt with what Chico already put the pressure on, you get your buff, and then you unfortunately die. So right now, CG Esports in a good position. And now that you have a level 4 available for Valens, he can decide to go for these kicks, these setups if he wants to, especially in the early portion of the game. Wow. Okay, well, I was about to say he made Bowie. He made up for that one, man. He at least gets a kill in his hands here over to Aurora.
They're angry, man.
Yeah, they had to.
No purple, no turtle. Rosa getting done dirty like that. All right, at least they're on the board now.
Yeah, they needed to do that while CG Esports, the slight lead that they have, they are playing around the Cho. Still, they should not be comfortable. Trying to see where they can find an opening. Lunar's handling the Yuzhong pretty well. Even in the jungle, slight pressure as well now from Pagu. So Aurora Gaming are trying to recover by applying pressure in so many parts that CG cannot find an opening. Even here, Sigiboom, with Chico deciding to go down, not going to be able to find a start on the Harith.
Yeah, it's really gonna. I mean, even if you try to make a play down there for Valens on the Cho, you know that you have to get through a Purify, right? So sometimes you show yourself in that lane just to go ahead and kind of give the second guess to Sigiboom, but mostly he's gonna be safe. They're gonna have to fight around the objective coming up next here. So this one, we'll see if it plays out better. It should be a full-on fight. You've got some resets going up on the XP lane. Ye3 gets back to base and they'll join this one. Lunar does take a bit of a hit here. Gary's damage actually really good already early on. The stalemate for the turtle though, as TNT will look for his own opening. Again, with this expanding rivers can help them rotate. Oh, Chiku, wings by wings, he's fine. And just Pagu's gonna keep that turtle there.
Yeah, good chunk of damage earlier. Just trying to poke down Chiku. Make sure he cannot go with that airstrike. Now Balance goes in with the Dragon Flicker combo into it. But the barrier was able to cancel it now as TNC goes in the backline. There's no more lockdown. Chiku has to flicker out. Balance gets taken out by Rosa. As Ye3 with the Petrify and the Furious Dive over. Gets the passive proc, but now has to go under turret. It's a 1-for-1. Rosa for Valens. But Lunar's still holding on to the turtle. Gary on it already. Tienzi gonna look for the retribution as well. It's Tienzi who wins it out. Gary 1 HP barriered away. And Lunar gets the kill.
You shall not pass. That, man, the Rampart, so many times whenever you see the Grok, you know that that's going to come in clutch from time to time. So now, with all that just happened, Aurora will get themselves that turtle. They'll go ahead and take this purple buff as well, and it went over to Lunar. So he's going to have a fun time with that, at least for now. But this is the thing, you know, you got to be cautious. Oh, hold on, Sequel.
Goes for the way the dragon, but the Purify is available. Oh. They actually do get a Spear of Misery, but they don't decide to commit, and that actually might hurt them. Rosa walks up the barrier again. Valens trying to escape. One last hit. He's burning. He's taking down the glowing one. Doesn't do enough. Valens stays alive.
I feel like that barrier actually hurt the attempt to take down the Cho. It gave him just enough space between him and the Lunox, so seems like Rosa might tell Pac with their hey man, be careful with your walls just a little bit. Good try. Maybe next time.
You know, I said they
fix it just a bit.
Came in clutch earlier. Well, that time, maybe not so clutch, but, you know, surviving there, that's great for Valens. He's going to go ahead and build up again into more of that hybrid defense because you need it across the board. You've got great physical and magical damage on the profile here for Aurora Game, especially in the early portion of the game as we're seeing. But still, nonetheless, as this game unfolds, we're going to be looking at, especially for Amzik. Oh, as I mentioned, him could be in trouble.
Yes, Flicker. That's going to be the Flicker. Tienzi comes in with a cutthroat. Just a hit from Rosa, and they get the pick on Amzik up top.
Yeah, great read by Pagu. Oh, Chiku, why?
He's alone. Valens walks up. Great brilliance now, but Valens still has. Oh, Valens. Rosa still will be taken down, so at least they get something.
They got something, man, but that was, that was a little rough. Hey, turtle's up, though.
A result is a result in the end, and they're going to be getting to the turtle first. Spear of Destruction is not going to land on the Harith, and the Harith will be able to clear out tower. Aurora and CG will fight for turtle number 3.
Okay, turtle's up here.
Wow, wait, this is... They have the tempo, they have the control, but they don't want to force it. Oh, no. Hesitation.
That's a weird trend that we see again with teams that go up against Uranus. They overthink the Uranus just a little bit.
It's just because he's so annoying to deal with too. Like, I mean, you can provide that vision. You're tanky enough to kind of just sit there and, you know, stay in their face. And so no turtle committed actually just yet, but it looks like Aurora's going to go ahead and start this up. I think still, yeah, they should be able to secure this actually.
The thing is, Tienzi already took the purple buff because in Aurora's minds, they were thinking we're not going to get turtle. We're just going to get a trade. So it was Tienzi purple into bottom lane clear. So Gary is now super behind.
Yeah. Maybe partly because since Amzik used... wait a minute. Since Amzik used SOD to try to go back to defend his bot lane tower, the CG was probably thinking, hey, we won't have our Moskov. Gary, no!
Great Thorn Rose, though. Great reactions from Gary. Could have been real bad.
Yeah, tough though. I don't know if they want to re-engage here?
Kick, go on to Rosa, petrified Fierce dive already. That's gonna be Rosa taken down for the 4th time this game as Lunar walks up as well with the Black Dragon form, gets used by Ye3. So far, just another pick. Tienzi though in the bottom lane, looking for the pick off onto Amzik. Spear Misery doesn't stun him up now. Tienzi gonna go for the cutthroat, will be able to do so, and even through it all, Amzik survives, but Lunar walks it up. Now it's Balance. Oh man, this Uranus is big.
That's what I'm saying, man. You know, it might be overthinking, it might not be. I think Uranus is just that annoying to deal with because you can also soak up so much damage, and if you go ahead and look, you know, he's just got he's got 2 items now. He's got the Oracles and that Brute Force, so he's tanky enough to go ahead and continue to do that. And so it gets a little more difficult now for Amzik on this Moscow. Gary is trying to get his buff. He will be able to secure it, but again, Lunar.
No Thorn Rose, Consecration gets used up. He finally uses Thorn Rose, all the fuel in the world. But look at the Harith down below. Siggy Boom just picked up a free tier 2.
Yeah, his heat map right now is just pretty much all in the bot lane. But it works out for them. I mean, that is now going to be a problem for CG when it comes to the objective fights, and that becomes the far lane when the Lord spawns up top. Fortunately for them, the Lord will be spawning in the lower portion of the river. Pagu now has an Athena's shield, which means the burst dished out by Chiku has to be saved, mainly for Rosa, Tianzi, and Sikiboom.
That's what I was saying earlier, man. Amzik is going to be the one they're playing into towards the late game if they can get there, because right now, Aurora Gaming not really giving them much room to breathe. With this shift in focus and the momentum they have now, they should be an easy Lord take for them. You see that. They started up very quickly. Oh, Valence.
That way the Dragon was... Okay, Valence now caught the barrier. Ye3 gonna be knocked up as well. That way the Dragon flicker was towards Aurora Gaming.
It was a way.
It was a way of not the Dragon they were looking for, man. And so what's happening is because they're making these mistakes, they're losing these fights, you don't have any other option but to just let Amzik push across the map. That's about all they can do because these fights just are not going their way at all. And so with that, 4,000 up now for Aurora Gaming, they've, you know, even though Rosa has dealt with a lot of the deaths here, I think it's all part of the plan for this lineup and allows them to go ahead and scale up really well. Because even looking at this, you know, Sigiboom, it's going to be his time to now lock in on this Harith. He's got his Feather of Heaven and Starlium Scythe already, and the Holy Crystal, so that damage now is really online for the Harith, and I think this is going to be a difficult thing to defend for CG, just because, again, what do you do here other than drop down a Feathered Airstrike?
Yeah, and even if they drop down the Feathered Airstrike, that becomes like a big signal for Aurora Gaming attack here. Look, while Gary almost gets bursted down completely by Tianzi up top. Here comes Aurora down bottom.
Dude, First Lord, a base turret, and they have a Moskov and Farsa and Lance. This is a comp that you would expect to be able to defend First Lord, at least not lose a base turret. Aurora Gaming are getting everything.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think it's just this bulwark of a front line that Aurora Gaming has, and they've got really good opportunities to just kind of take out the rest of the shields as they do. CG Esports will hold on to 2 base turrets, but again, you know, who's going to be the guy to make that play every time Valence has gone in? It's not been the kick that he's looking for. Either is that one.
All right. I mean, they forced out Purify, I guess, but that's still 4-0 to Uranus.
And that means there's no way the Dragon for Kenzie. He's able to bait them a few of those resources back. Ye3, no Petrify. That's it. They back away. I think, again, from just that first Lord charge, they got what they wanted. That's the far lane base turret away from Lord.
It's not that many teams that are able to get even a base turret right off the Lord right now, at least from what we've seen, unless you're talking about massive leads. And it's interesting because we've seen leads before being, you know, 10,000 ahead, and some teams still aren't able to get that, but they'll still put pressure. Oh,
no Purify on Lunar.
Oh, Lunar.
Wait, the Dragon gets him out again! This is a catastrophic Chol performance. I'm sorry.
Oh, Valence, you guys already had a kill. Why'd you have to kick him away?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did not intend that, but at the end, it's not the intention, it's the result.
Oh, that was,
really rough here for Valence and just CG in general, man. Totally disconnected in the way that they want to approach this, and you know, that's tough to kind of recalibrate from really quickly in this game. Lord's coming up in a couple seconds here, and it's just going to be taken by Aurora Gaming. CG Esports, unless some miracle, I don't want to completely count out an SOD landing and taking the Lord, but it looks like they even want to get in position. They'll keep Amzik on that bottom side of the map across here. And Aurora will take their time.
Double tech charge coming down now. Year 3 pops in the Black Dragon form. They are able to bait out the Feather Airstrike, but Rosa has used both ultimates. Valens walking up again, getting caught, and now as the shot pull away, the barrier locks him down for a bit as Rosa does a little bit more damage. Shenzi in the back line gets trapped in the Petrify now. Looking for the cables, will be able to get through Year 3.
Okay, they kept the Lord as well. Amzik's pushing. He's been doing this all game. That's about all they can do. Lord secured by TNZ, but at least a tier 2 falls here, or almost does. Amzik.
They'll make it right.
Lunar.
Oh my God! They cancel it. Amzik, how do you escape from this? Pagu's taking a long way to cut him down. Flicker available, SOD as well, but Pagu is not going to give him the chance to do so. TNZ walking up. The way the Dragon will lock TNZ down as Amzik goes over to Spear Minister, but the tech charge will be able to peel for him. And now, Amzik with a jump in over onto Amzik, and he falls. Valens, on the other hand, chased down by Lunar. He tried to peel, he tried to open up an angle for Amzik. Now they're like, all right, TNZ, you got this, you got the cables. It's him on a killing spree.
That's just a highlight of Aurora Gaming. From the Lord to that pick, and this is gonna be it.
Base push in, Lord's still up, can they defend it?
Black Dragon form again, Sigiboom still doing so much damage. Oh my God, in the skies, Year 3! Almost taking out Rosa with a flicker in forward. Able to pick up the kill on Year 3. Gary falls as well. It's just Chiku and Aurora Gaming move on to 1-1 as CG get pushed down even deeper.
Tough performance here from CG Esports, and a better showing this time from Aurora Gaming. Very opposites here on what we saw in terms of performance for both teams.
Properly outclassed.